People always talk about heartbreak like it's loud, like it's screaming, crying, dramatic explosions. But for me, heartbreak arrived in silence. It was the night I came home early from a conference. Rain dripped down my coat, my sandals had mud on them, and all I wanted was to collapse on the couch. When I opened the door, the house was strangely perfect. Candles lit, music soft, dinner set for two. Except I hadn't planned dinner. I hadn't lit candles. I hadn't turned on music. My husband, Adam, walked down the stairs a minute later, wearing a fresh shirt as if he'd just gotten dressed. He froze when he saw me. "Oh, you're back early," he said, voice tight. I stepped into the living room and immediately noticed a second wine glass on the table, still warm, still half full. I looked at him. "Who are you having dinner with?" I asked quietly. His expression transformed instantly, not into guilt, not into panic, but into performance. He smiled, that soft, gentle smile he always used to disarm me. "Oh, babe, you're imagining things," he said. "I was just testing the new wine. You know how you jump to conclusions?" There it was, the gaslight, the rewrite, the tone that made me doubt myself for years. But this time, it hit differently, because something else caught my eye. A lipstick print on the other glass, a color I didn't own, a color I had never worn. I stared at it, feeling something inside me finally go silent and still. He walked toward me calmly, touching my arm. "You're tired, you're stressed, let's sit down." But I wasn't tired. I wasn't stressed. I was done ignoring things I wasn't supposed to see, so I simply said, "Okay." And he smiled, thinking I believed him, thinking the performance worked, thinking the perfect husband routine still held power over me. He had no idea that the moment I said, "Okay," I started planning, because if he thought he played the perfect husband, he had no idea how perfectly I could play him right back. To the outside world, Adam was the dream husband women prayed for. He volunteered at community events. He baked cookies for neighbors. He remembered birthdays, anniversaries, small dates that others forgot. My friends called me lucky. My mother adored him. He was the man who cooked breakfast on Sundays, left notes in my bag, and held my hand at every party. But behind closed doors, his control was quiet, polished, rehearsed. He didn't yell, he didn't curse, he didn't slam doors. No, he did something worse. He made me doubt myself, one soft sentence at a time. If I said I remembered something clearly, he'd murmur, "You mix things up, sweetheart. You know that." If I asked why he didn't answer his phone, he'd smile, "You worry too much. It's cute, but you overthink everything." If I caught inconsistencies, he'd laugh, "Your imagination is wild today." And the terrifying thing was, he said, all of it with kindness. Gentle hands, calm tone, soft eyes. It wasn't anger, it was strategy. I used to tell myself, maybe he's right. Maybe I am overthinking. But then I started noticing patterns. Nights he came home smelling like perfume, shirts I didn't recognize, messages he deleted fast, excuses that sounded too practiced. But every time, he'd tilt his head, soften his voice, and say, "Sweetheart, do you really think I'd lie to you?" And I hated myself for hesitating, for doubting my instincts, for letting him craft a version of our marriage that only he controlled. But that lipstick stain, that wine glass, that perfect dinner setup, it wasn't just a mistake. It was sloppy, which meant he was comfortable, confident, careless. And careless men leave clues. So I started paying attention, quietly, carefully, without him noticing the shift in my eyes, because I knew if I confronted him too soon, he'd twist everything. He played the perfect husband for years. Now it was my turn to play the perfect wife, while gathering every piece of truth he never wanted me to see. 3 days after the candle night setup, something strange happened. A necklace went missing. Not just any necklace. The gold one my late grandmother had given me. I I tore the house apart looking for it. Drawers, cabinets, laundry baskets, behind couches. Then I asked him, "Have you seen my necklace?" He didn't look up from his phone. "Maybe you misplaced it. You lose things often." No concern, no surprise, just dismissal. But I never misplaced that necklace. He noticed my expression, so he added, "You probably dropped it somewhere. Don't stress." That word again, stress. My chest tightened, because losing that necklace wasn't stressful. It was impossible, and he knew it. Later that night, he left for a quick gym session, except he didn't take his gym bag, didn't take his gloves, didn't take water, didn't change his shoes. I watched from the window as he drove off, not toward the gym, but in the opposite direction. My heart raced, so I grabbed my keys and followed. He drove across town, to a hotel, a mid-range place with tinted windows. He parked in the back, checked his phone, then walked inside like he'd done it 100 times. I waited. 5 minutes, 10, 20. Then I got out and walked up to the front desk. "Hi," I said with a smile. "I think my husband left his wallet here. Name is Adam Carter." The receptionist typed, looked up, and said, "Oh yes, he checked in earlier, room 214. My breath left my body. Checked in earlier. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a coincidence. So I tested something. I asked casually, "Did he check in alone?" The receptionist smiled politely. "Oh no, he was with a woman." My hands went cold. What did she look like? I breathed. Tall. Red lipstick. Wavy hair. Red lipstick. The same shade on the wine. Glass. I thanked her, turned around, and walked out slowly. Not because I was in shock, but because a terrifying clarity hit me. He never lost the necklace. He gave it to someone else. The perfect husband was slipping. His stories were cracking. His lies were contradictory. He wasn't careful anymore. He thought he'd trained me well enough not to question. But he underestimated silence. He underestimated calm. He underestimated me. The next morning, Adam casually kissed my forehead and said, "Heading out early, long day ahead." I looked up and smiled sweetly. Drive safe. He didn't realize I was already gone. Mentally, emotionally, strategically. The moment he left, I began searching. If he lied about the hotel, he lied about everything. I started with his office drawer, then his closet, then his garage toolbox. And in the back of a locked metal box, hidden beneath old receipts, I found something that made my knees buckle. A jewelry box. Inside was my necklace. But not just my necklace. 3 pieces of jewelry I had never seen before. Bracelets, rings, earrings, all clearly gifts. All clearly for someone else. And next to them, a small journal. A detailed one. I opened it. My blood froze. Inside were notes, dates, schedules. Monday, dinner with R Tuesday. Gym with N Thursday. Hotel 214. Friday. Quality time with Dana. Quality time. He actually scheduled his lies. But the worst part wasn't the schedule. It was the notes next to my name. Dana gets suspicious. Reassure. Act apologetic when she questions things. Use calm voice. No sudden movements. She believes compliments. Use more. Give her space before big lies. She never checks receipts. Never checks. He actually wrote that. A guideline, a playbook, a step-by-step manual on how to keep me obedient. I felt sick. This wasn't emotional betrayal. This was psychological warfare. But I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I took photos. Every page. Every gift. Every detail. Then I put everything back exactly the way he kept it. Because this wasn't the moment to react. This was the moment to prepare. If he thought he played me, I was about to turn the entire board around. A man who documents his lies gives you everything you need to destroy him. Every date, every woman, every secret. And I had all of it. But I didn't want a dramatic confrontation in the house. That would give him space to twist everything. I wanted witnesses. People he respected. People he feared disappointing. People who believed in the perfect husband he pretended to be. So I reached out to his mother, his sister, his boss's wife, who happened to adore me, and the 2 other women from his journal. Yes, I contacted them. The first woman, R, was furious. The second, N, was devastated. Both thought they were his only one. I invited them to one place, a restaurant his family owned, his safe space, his kingdom, the one place he couldn't lie freely. We booked a private room. Everyone arrived, angry, confused, heartbroken. I laid the journal in the center of the table, open to the page titled, Managing Dana. His mother gasped. His sister whispered, "What the hell?" The 2 women cried. Then I placed the jewelry box beside it. R shook. "This bracelet. He said it belonged to his grandmother." N whispered, "This ring. He said it was custom made for me." His mother grabbed the box, mortified. "This is Dana's necklace. He stole this from his own wife?" I nodded. "Wait until you see the hotel schedule." They did. Everyone read. Everyone processed. Everyone saw the truth. Then we waited. 6 women, 1 table, his entire world sitting in one room. When Adam walked in, he froze. 6 pairs of eyes staring back at him. The journal open, the jewelry exposed, the truth undeniable. He tried to speak, but before he could, his mother said the words that cracked him open. "Sit down. We're done protecting your lies." His perfect husband mask shattered. Right there, right then. Adam stood frozen in the doorway. His face went pale. His throat bobbed. His hands shook. He whispered, "Dana, what is this?" I leaned back calmly. "A schedule of your double life. A list of the women you lied to. A guidebook on how to manipulate me." His sister slammed the journal shut. "You're disgusting." R stepped forward. "You told me your wife abused you." N added, "You told me she abandoned you." His mother was trembling with rage. "You lied to everyone." Adam looked like he was drowning. "Dana, please. It's not what it looks like." I smiled. "Adam, it's exactly what it looks like." He blinked rapidly. "Let's talk privately." "No," I said. "We talk here." Renee scoffed. "Yeah, go ahead. Try lying while we're all listening." His sister crossed her arms. His mother glared. For the first time in his life, he had no narrative to hide behind. Every lie he told one woman was contradicted by another. Every story he fed one person was disproven by the journal. Every excuse he tried to make was crushed by 6 witnesses. He sank into a chair. "This wasn't supposed to happen," he whispered. I replied, "That's the problem. You planned everything except the moment we all compared notes." Silence filled the room. Heavy, humiliating, final. His mother stood. "You will leave this place, you will leave this marriage, and you will face every consequence that comes." He didn't even argue. He couldn't. The perfect husband had no words, because perfection only works when no one sees the details, and when all the details are exposed, the illusion dies. I left him that night, not in chaos, not in anger, not in heartbreak, in clarity. His mother helped me pack my things. His sister drove me to my sister's house, and hugged me before leaving. We weren't enemies. We were survivors of the same man. I spent the next weeks rebuilding my life, sleeping through the night again, smiling again, laughing again, trusting myself again. No more questioning my instincts, no more doubting my memory, no more quiet manipulation disguised as kindness. Adam tried texting. He apologized. He blamed stress. He begged for another chance. I never replied, because closure doesn't come from them. Closure comes from the moment you finally see the truth clearly and choose peace over explanation. People think betrayal looks like drama, but the most dangerous betrayal looks like perfection. Smiles, gentle excuses, careful lies, quiet gaslighting. A person who hides their truth under kindness is far more dangerous than one who screams their cruelty. Adam didn't break me with loud moments. He broke me with small ones, slowly twisting facts, dismissing instincts, rewriting moments until I saw myself through his eyes. But the truth? Your instincts don't lie. People do, and the strongest revenge isn't catching them in the act. It's letting them watch you walk away with dignity, clarity, and a rebuilt life that no lie can touch. He played the perfect husband for years, but he forgot one thing. A perfect performance falls apart when the audience compares notes, and when the truth finally came together, he was the one left broken.